Woo! Hi everybody. It's January 2nd, 2018, and I was just wanting to cover a little bit about this new full moon in the sign of Cancer, because it's a profound time. There's a lot of heavy symbolism going on, not just because, you know, the sun's in Capricorn, and every time around this time of year you're going to get a full moon in the sign of Cancer. And that has symbolism in itself, you know, winter time, preparing for the winter, you know, making sure your firewood is stocked to have a warm home to make it through the winter all nice and cozy. But this time it's a little bit more symbolic. We have Saturn, you know, still at 1 degrees of Capricorn, and it's going to be there until 2020. All kinds of other stuff happening. Jupiter conjunct Mars in Scorpio right about now. Uranus just went direct today. It's going to go all the way into the sign of Taurus. So heavy times. And it's funny because like the moon would seem like the most minimal thing in the midst of this, but I think it's really symbolic. It was a super moon. It was the closest moon of this year. And the moon in its rulership, in its home sign. So what this says to me is that it's like, get ready. Get your emotional body ready. You got to get right with yourself. You got to get right with your emotions. What does this mean? Well, it's what you need to feel comfortable, to feel safe, to feel motivated, to feel fulfilled. You know, but there's two ways to go about doing that. I think the most common way instinctively for us to do is like, well, I need to order my outside world so that I can feel more comfortable, so that I can feel better. You know, there might be situations, money situations, relationship situations, all kinds of stuff on the outside. I want to change my house. I want to change my job. I need these material things in order to feel comfortable. That's how most people think about it. I think the symbolism is kind of reversed here, because we're entering into a very Capricorn time, in an earth sign dominated time. And it is all about manifesting our external reality. The time for manifesting has never been better, and that's what it's going to be about. And with Uranus and Aries direct, Jupiter and Mars in Scorpio, it's all about your personal vision, your personal power, your individuality, expressing that into the world, you know, without restraint or censorship, you know, to manifest stuff how you want, to make reality the way you want it to be. You know, but you know, there's always lessons to be learned, and I have a feeling we're going to meet very much so resistance, obstacles, tests are going to come to say, oh, you think you can change your reality? You think you can change this up? How about I put a little obstacle? How determined are you? You know, there's going to be obstacles. So I think this full moon is saying, get ready on the inside. Don't rely on external factors. Get your emotions right on the inside. Stoke the fire. You're about to climb the mountain of Capricorn, this wintry, craggy mountain. You know, imagine yourself in like a cloak sleeping on a cliff for a night, and the only thing you have to keep you warm are all your good emotions inside, your good memories from the past. Take the good stuff. Think of the stuff that makes you happy. Pets, the past pets you've had, past relationships you've had, the good aspects of it, good memories. You know, then take the things in the present that you're grateful for, that you're stoked for, the stuff in the future that you're excited for, these desires that you're wanting to manifest. Take all that inside and drop the rest. Drop the rest. Drop the baggage. Drop the emotional baggage. Travel light. You want to travel light up this mountain. You don't want to walk, take all these steps for the next 3 years up this mountain and be carrying baggage with you, emotional baggage that isn't doing you any good. So it's almost like, you know, in Harry Potter 4, I think it's the Goblet of Fire, you know, in the beginning they're at the Triwizard Tournament, and they're kind of camping out. It's kind of like a tailgating thing, but they're using tents, and the tents they have are these like nondescript pup tents like you would have in the Boy Scouts or whatever. But since they're magical tents, you go inside and it's this lavish, Venusian, comfortable, warm, soft, large, expansive area that's very cozy and is very materially comforting. Build that inside yourself too. It's kind of the same thing. Have a place inside yourself that it's this expansive, cozy, warm area, and put all those good memories and all the good dreams for the future that you have, and everything that you're appreciative of the thing, and all the baggage, the problems that you've been worrying about, and traumas from relationships and your childhood and pain. Drop it. Just drop it. Forget about it. Stop activating it in your mind. Stop putting the attention on it. Take all the good feelings and get ready, because you're going to need that. You're going to need that later when it gets cold, when it gets tough, when you need to remember to keep going. You access from the inside. You know, it's common knowledge that the sign of Scorpio has 3 different incarnations. The lowest being the scorpion, the mid-range development being the eagle, and then the highest development being the phoenix or the dove, and they each have their symbols. But I like to think of the sign of Cancer as having similar levels like that. I don't even like using the word Cancer just because it's active, it's like a law of attraction kind of thing. So I call it crab sign. But to me, the crab is the lowest form of the sign of Cancer, because, you know, it's crabby. We all know Cancerians can get a little crabby, you know. So on that lowest level, very sensitive. It's a very sensitive sign, and you're susceptible to other people's emotions, too much empathy, too much checking in with yourself and what your emotions are, and letting that dictate what your course of action is. Oh, I don't feel like it today. I'm too burnt out. I'm too bummed. I'm just gonna lay in bed. And you know, that's the lowest form of Cancer, where your emotions are ruling you and other people's emotions are ruling you. That's the crabby crab. You know, but there's a higher form of Cancer. I had this idea the other day. I had a mid-range idea of what that would be. But the highest form that I like to think of, and I haven't seen this officially, I just use it as my own symbolism. It comes from the Tarot, which is the Chariot card, which is related to the sign of Cancer. What is the Chariot card? To me, it means a couple things. Obviously, it means forward motion. You know, moving into forward motion, not being held back by your emotions. This guy is in charge of the 2 horses, the black and white horses, the 2 pillars, you know, duality, masculine and feminine, good and bad, being able to balance and be in charge of the positive things and the negative things in life and move forward anyway. But what the most significant symbolism in that card, the Chariot card, which represents the sign of Cancer, is that in many decks, the charioteer is always heavily armored. And to me, this means you take what's going to assist you and benefit you and support what you want to manifest in the world, these positive emotions, these positive aspirations, affirmations, whatever it is, and you put it in the Chariot. You put it into that lavish, safe place inside, and then you armor it with a golden set of armor, just impermeable golden armor, so that anyone's, you know, passive-aggressive, wet blanket, hidden little barb to disempower you or just burst your bubble, take the wind out of your sails, emotional manipulation, whatever. None of that stuff can penetrate and get to that safe place you have inside, that you're cultivating these positive emotions to help you through challenges, help you through hard times, to give you the fire, the motivation to keep going. That's the Chariot to me. That's the highest form of the sign of Cancer. So that's, I'm sure we can all feel the energy right now. The Capricorn energy, the Scorpio, Jupiter, Mars energy, Uranus direct. It's like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Batten down the hatches. We got to manifest this stuff. But I think this full moon is extremely significant in its symbolism, that get your emotional self ready before you do any of that. Because there's going to be obstacles, there's going to be failures, there's going to be delays, there's going to be people around you that are uncomfortable with the changes you're making, and they're going to say stuff to try to hold you back. All manner of stuff. People are excellent at emotional manipulation, asserting their dominance and control. That's what everyone's walking around trying to do. You need to be ready for that. Most of what holds people back from the change they want to do is social factors. Humiliation. We need to tell so-and-so, whatever, to keep him in his place. That's the function, that's the social function of humiliation, is to keep people in their place. You don't want to make waves, you don't want to move. It makes other people uncomfortable. It illuminates where their problems are. But that's what a full moon is illumination. Notice around this time, I'm a little bit late making this video, but this full moon will illuminate all those places where you're not really safe, you're not really protected. Sensitive areas, look at those, look straight at those and decide what you're going to do about them. And I think more than anything you can do externally, like let's say there's some relationships in your life that have kind of been going on. It's a little bit uncomfortable. Those might be getting highlighted because it's your vulnerable spot. You're exposed there. That's the stuff that can mess you up. You could get going on your track and be going fine for a month or two, and then this thing will come up and it could throw you off track. So let's look at it now, fix it now. Well, you're deciding what you're going to do about it. You can, talk to the person and try to change their behavior, but that's, I don't think, the point of this time. The point of this time to get right on the inside. Do what you need to on the inside to deal with this stuff and protect yourself, to enter into this huge time of manifestation, Capricorn, where we are changing reality and determining how we are in the world, how we look like to society, what we've built for society. What are the lasting things that we are leaving behind? Our legacy, the systems we built, the systems we profess, the way that we live our lives in a social realm. That's what Capricorn was the time of the season where the village, the harvest had been done, and now the village has all these stored up grain stores for the winter, and that has to be determined. How are we going to distribute this? How are we going to ration this stuff? It has very much to do with society, resources, legacy, systems. And that's why it's the 10th house, the midheaven. It's your career. It's your overall legacy of what you're doing in the world. But this polarity, Capricorn and Cancer, you cannot max out Capricorn and master Capricorn without mastering Cancer energy. And that's all about the emotional body. You cannot let your emotions control you. You cannot let other people control your emotions and thus control you. You have to get right with your emotions. You have to get them under control. So let the full moon highlight those things in your life right now that are your weak spots, where you're not in control, where your emotions can get the best of you and other people can get the best of you. And look at those and think about what you can do, how you can reorient on the inside to change you know, how you feel about these situations so you can move forward, be ready to move forward. Anyway, this is my first real video, first main video of 2018, and I'm excited. I'm going to try to do daily videos. I'm going to try to do as many as I can. So I hope I help everybody this year and help myself, and I'm excited. I'm excited about the journey, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye.